Well, a unique week for us, considering for the last 9 weeks we've been, getting prepared for 2 or 3 games a week. So, a little bit of time here in the, first portion of the week to kind of, focus on us, ourselves, where we can get better. And then we'll find out, on Thursday who we're going to be playing on Friday. So, exciting time. Regular season's over and now moving into postseason. And I think our guys will be excited to go to Atlanta.
You have a question from line of Gary Smith with Florida Times Union.
Yeah, Billy, how you doing today?
I'm doing good, thanks.
Your guys' passing ability, the 14 out of 16 baskets that had assists the other day, but also your big guys throw really nice outlet passes. They throw good kick-out passes. It's a lot more than just a pass leading directly to a basket. How does this team do in all phases of that compared to past good teams you've had?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think one of the things we always try to emphasize is ball movement, extra passing, and making simple passes. Obviously, for us, spacing, ball movement is a big part of our offense. I think the other thing, too, for us is, over the course of the year is getting our guys to understand, strengths and weaknesses of each other, and where the ball's got to be at certain times. If Patrick Young runs the floor and he's got good post position, our guys have to have recognition and be able to find him. Prater's ahead of the break and, he's running the wing and he's got, a lane or an alley to the basket. We got to find him. I think that's been kind of a progression for our team. And I think we've gotten better at that as the year's gone on to kind of utilize each other and play with each other. And then the whole idea, if you have a shot and someone's got a better one, move the ball to the next guy. It's not anything that they're doing with these spectacular passes, but just trying to get them to space the floor, open the floor up, and make the extra pass. Now, the other thing with this, I would say there's been some times where, our ball movement's been pretty good, and we've had a low number of assists because the ball doesn't go in the basket. So, in order to have a high number of assists, the guy that's shooting the ball's got to make a shot. So sometimes that stat can be a little bit misleading where you can look at the film and really be excited about your ball movement and then look down the stat sheet and say, we don't have a lot of assists this game, but we got good shots. The ball didn't go in the basket. So I'm probably more focused less on the number of assists, although we all won a lot of them, and more probably focused on what kind of shots are we getting in the half court and in transition.
Okay, thank you, Billy.
Thank you.
Your next question is from Chip Howard with KZNE Radio.
Billy, I'm curious as to what you feel about these postseason conference tournaments, especially given what you guys did in the regular season this year.
Well, I don't know if I'm, have a strong stance one way or another. I've just always felt this way because of our conference schedule, or I should say our league tournament schedule, the way it works out. The championship game is always played on Sunday, and I've always felt like the two teams from the SEC that are playing on that Sunday, if both teams are going to be playing in the NCAA tournament, I've always felt like the NCAA needs to do something to move any teams that are playing championship games on Sunday in their conference tournament. They should not have to play until Friday. I think having a team play on a Sunday and then they've got to come back home Sunday night, miss selection Sunday, get on a plane and have to leave on Tuesday, have an open shoot-around on Wednesday, play Thursday. I think that's awful difficult for teams that are playing their championship games on Sundays. I think those teams should have an automatic, Friday play. Now, that doesn't always happen. Sometimes it does. I do think for everybody around the country, it's the first time all year that we'll be kind of faced with this whole idea of playing a game and, it's one and done. Now you're in an elimination tournament the rest of the way through the SEC tournament and then the NCAA tournament. So, it's a great opportunity to play games if you're fortunate enough to advance, a short, quick turnaround, because that's obviously what happens in postseason play. So I think it's an exciting time, for us, for our team and every team, in this league and around the country to play against each other in a neutral site situation.
Thanks, Billy.
Next, we'll try Seth Emerson of the Macon Telegraph.
Hey, Billy. Hate to ask such an open-ended question, but I was just curious what your thoughts were on what Georgia's done during the SEC regular season.
Well, we played them very, very early in the SEC schedule, and I watched them play their 2 or 3 games before we played them, and I could see that Mark's team was coming and they were getting better. And the game that we played them here, I don't think Georgia probably played one of their better games. But I really like their team because I thought that Mann had gotten a lot better. I thought, Gaines had kind of evolved into a guy that was going to be a legitimate scorer. Thornton, who was hurt most of, the year last year, didn't get much production from him, if any. He started to come into his own. Their personnel had gotten better. Mark's system, I think, puts those guys in situations to be very, very successful. But I thought even though we won handily at our place, I thought they were going to have a great year. I thought they were a really, really good basketball team, and we just maybe happened to play a real good game. Maybe didn't play to the best of their ability, but they're a very, very hard team to play against. They execute very well. They defend very well. They've gotten production. They rebound the ball at a very, very high level. And I think their personnel's gotten better. And I think Mark has done an incredible job, with his team the entire year.
Thanks, Billy.
Next is Bob Holt in the Arkansas Democrat-Gazette.
Billy, how you doing?
Good, Bob.
Hey, I got another question about team earlier in the year, too. Hope that's okay. I know it's been a long time since you guys played Arkansas, but you might have seen some film on them, scouting teams they were playing that you're getting ready to play. They had a pretty good second half of the season. What's your take on maybe what they can do in this tournament?
I think Mike has done a great job. I think one of the things that's happened, a little bit of this in the games that I've seen, because as you mentioned, we had maybe some common opponents. I think we played Vanderbilt right after they played them, and I saw them, and we played Kentucky right after they played them, so I had a chance to see them on film. I would say the emergence of Portis, he's played really, really well. I think Qualls has played well. I know he was suspended a couple games. He's come back and played very well. Cody Clark has played well. They obviously have a lot of depth. They shoot it. Their system, their style is very, very good. And I've said this about our league, Bob, a lot, and I think Arkansas is a prime example of this. Unfortunately, in college basketball, when you go outside your conference schedule and you play against other BCS schools around the country, and if you don't fare well against those teams, immediately the league or team gets labeled. And I think Arkansas is a prime example of that theory being thrown out the window. They are a team that has gotten progressively better and better and better each and every game, more cohesive, more together, playing at a high, high level. Obviously, had some outstanding wins, and a team that in a lot of ways maybe has some youth to it, but some guys that have grown and gotten better, and they've gotten a lot of production from a lot of different people. But I think Mike has done a great job, with his group, and they're playing, maybe as well as anybody in this league right now. And it's a tribute to their kids and the way they have continued to grow and to get better.
And y'all have already done so much. You probably set up a number one seed no matter what you do in Atlanta. What's the motivation for you guys this week?
Well, I think like it is, I think for every other team in this league, you're getting a chance to play in a championship tournament right now. There's going to be a winner, out of this, 5 days. There's going to be someone's going to emerge, and I think it's always exciting when you have an opportunity to do that. And in a lot of ways, it's a new season for everybody. Everybody's kind of starting off 0-0. There are, the non-conference schedule, the regular season and conference is all done and over with right now. And that's the next chapter for everybody, and the next step for everybody, and that's going to Atlanta. So, I think it's an exciting time, when you get a chance to be able to do that. And I think our guys will be excited about having an opportunity to compete in a tournament like this.